In a world where trust is a fragile commodity, who do we truly rely on, if not those closest to us? This chilling tale unfolds in October 2012, when 24-year-old Rebecca Gay vanished without a trace in broad daylight. What began as a desperate search for a missing young woman soon unraveled into a horrifying revelation. The perpetrator was not a stranger lurking in the shadows, but someone deeply embedded in Rebecca's life, a figure of authority and trust within the community. This wasn't just a disappearance. It was a betrayal that shook an entire town to its core. Halloween, a time typically filled with playful costumes, festive decorations, and sweet treats, became a canvas for a real-life nightmare. A monster, cloaked in the guise of an ordinary, respected individual, emerged from the darkness, proving far more terrifying than any fictional horror. This is the story of how a community's faith was shattered, and how the true face of evil was unmasked in the most unexpected of places. Before we delve deeper into this unsettling narrative, if you find yourself captivated by stories of true crime and the dark corners of human nature, consider supporting this channel. Your subscription, a simple like, and active engagement truly make a difference. It helps us bring more such stories to light. We are immensely grateful for your support. Now let's begin. Rebecca Gay, born on March 26, 1988, was the beloved daughter of Thomas and Sally Gay. She grew up in Midland, Michigan, alongside her 3 siblings, in a home that valued unity, faith, and hard work. Her father, Thomas, was a highly respected figure in the community, renowned for his expertise in horseback riding and training. He was a co-founder of a charity horse race dedicated to raising funds for a children's hospital, embodying a deep compassion for both people and animals. Thomas's integrity and kindness served as a powerful example for his children, shaping Rebecca into the gentle and compassionate individual she became. Rebecca's childhood in their small, close-knit town was idyllic. Everyone knew each other, fostering a sense of safety and belonging. She spent her days playing with her siblings, attending church with her family, and excelling in school. Her innate kindness and empathetic spirit, inherited from her parents, made her stand out. Tragedy struck when her father, Thomas, was diagnosed with a terminal illness. The family made the difficult decision to place him in hospice care, ensuring he received constant support and comfort during his final days. Rebecca, then a high school student in Midland and a member of the equestrian team, dedicated herself to volunteering at school archery competitions, raising money for families in need, a testament to her father's enduring influence. After graduating high school in 2007, Rebecca embarked on a career in the beauty industry, enrolling in cosmetology school. During this period, she was in a serious relationship with Chad Sando. Upon completing her program, she secured a position as a stylist at a salon in Mount Pleasant, conveniently close to where her mother, Sally, resided. Following Thomas's passing, Sally found herself grappling with profound loneliness. Her children had grown, embarking on their own lives, leaving her to confront a future she hadn't envisioned alone. Unaccustomed to solitude after years of marriage, Sally sought companionship through online dating. Her intention wasn't to find a new husband, but rather someone to share her thoughts with, to alleviate the isolation. She eventually moved into a mobile home in a trailer park in Broomfield Valley, where she connected with John Douglas White, a man living in Augusta, Michigan, approximately a 2-hour drive away. Their relationship quickly deepened, leading them to move in together. John, a pastor, found a position in a nearby church where Sally also taught Sunday school. They shared a strong bond, united by common interests and their Christian faith. Mount Pleasant, Michigan, a town of just under 20,000 residents, was surrounded by the peaceful, picturesque farmlands of Sally's rural neighborhood, a mere 20-minute drive away. It was within this tranquil setting that Rebecca, Sally's youngest daughter, discovered she was pregnant. When her son, Connor, was born, Rebecca and Chad endeavored to create a stable environment for him. However, the profound shift to motherhood proved challenging for Chad. Rebecca, on the other hand, embraced her new role with unwavering dedication. Connor became her entire world, and she was fiercely committed to providing him with the best possible life. Already a caring and responsible individual, motherhood deepened her sense of purpose. She seamlessly balanced her work responsibilities with the demands of being a single mother, never complaining and approaching every challenge with gratitude. Seeking additional support, Rebecca decided to rent a mobile home in the same Broomfield Valley trailer park as her mother, finding comfort in Sally's proximity. Sally and John lived directly across the street, and Rebecca and Connor spent nearly every evening at their home. John embraced his role as a father figure to Rebecca and a grandfather figure to Connor, often driving him to daycare and caring for him when Rebecca was busy. He cherished the idea of having a true family. While Rebecca initially pursued cosmetology, Connor's arrival necessitated a change in her career path. She transitioned to a retail store in Mount Pleasant, where she quickly rose to a managerial position, entrusting Connor's care to her mother and John, who had become an integral part of their family unit. Rebecca's personal life also flourished. She met Aaron Quinn when Connor was about a year old. Aaron wholeheartedly embraced Connor as his own son, treating Rebecca with immense love and respect. He harbored plans to propose to her in the near future, and his family welcomed Rebecca as one of their own. Sally and John also fully supported Rebecca's choice. Rebecca, in turn, welcomed John into her family, even caring for him when he fell ill, bringing him soup, medicine, and pizza. With John's consistent support and caring for Connor, Rebecca felt secure, surrounded by good people, and looked forward to a bright future. Her life, though modest, was rich with love and warmth, ensuring Connor had everything he needed. In 2012, as Connor approached his third birthday, Halloween, Rebecca's favorite holiday since childhood, was just around the corner. She was particularly excited, as Connor was now old enough to fully appreciate the thrill of costumes and trick-or-treating. They had already chosen an adorable Spider-Man costume for him. Rebecca, managing a retail store, had purchased 8 scarecrows from a recent shipment to adorn her yard, taking immense joy in decorating her home with pumpkins, fake cobwebs, and spooky signs. On the eve of Halloween, Rebecca was home alone with Connor. The following morning, Connor was to be dropped off with his biological father, Chad, for the day. Rebecca planned to pick him up after work, dress him in his costume, and take him trick-or-treating for the very first time. She was brimming with excitement, sharing her plans with her mother and Aaron. That evening, she was, as always, happy and completely focused on the upcoming festivities. No one could have predicted that this holiday would never come to pass for her. For months, Rebecca had been working the morning shift to maximize her time with Connor. So, when she failed to show up for work on October 31st, 2012, it immediately raised concerns among her bosses and colleagues. Rebecca was a manager, known for her reliability. It was unthinkable that she would oversleep or skip a shift without notice. Most alarmingly, no one could reach her. The management dispatched a colleague to her home, fearing she might be in distress. However, there was no answer at the door, and the house appeared empty. The front door was locked. As he returned to his car, he noticed something peculiar. A light blue 4-door Buick, Rebecca Gay's car, parked a few dozen yards from her home in the parking lot of a bar. This was highly unusual, as Rebecca had a driveway. He entered the bar to inquire about the car. The evening bartender recalled seeing the car, but confirmed Rebecca had not entered the establishment. Given she had been with her son the previous evening, it was highly improbable she would have left Connor alone to go to a bar. The bar staff, however, provided the phone number of the trailer park's owner, who agreed to open Rebecca's door. Perhaps, despite being young and healthy, she was at home and incapacitated. But she wasn't there. Only her favorite purse, a gift from Aaron, lay open on the table, a stark symbol of her sudden absence. Rebecca's colleague immediately contacted Sally and John, who, upon learning of Rebecca's absence from work, rushed to her home. Neighbors began to gather, their whispers filled with speculation about the young woman's whereabouts. By noon, her family reported her missing to the county sheriff's department. However, authorities were hesitant to launch a full-scale search, citing Rebecca's adult status. While acknowledging the strangeness of the situation, they decided to wait until 4:30 p.m., Rebecca's scheduled time to pick up Connor, to confirm it wasn't a misunderstanding. Missing work was one thing, but failing to contact her family or boyfriend, and most critically, not showing up to pick up her son, indicated something was profoundly wrong. This decision resulted in a critical 4.5 hours of wasted time. precious moments that could have been used to gather information, search for evidence, and clarify the circumstances of her disappearance. Rebecca's family was left in agonizing suspense. John White, leveraging his position as a pastor, contacted friends, acquaintances, and his congregation, mobilizing them in the search. Sally, meanwhile, prayed fervently for her daughter's safe return, clinging to the hope of an explanation. Despite their efforts, panic began to set in. That morning, Connor had been dropped off at a grocery store parking lot for Chad to pick him up. Since Rebecca was working the day shift, John and Sally had assisted with the exchange. John White arrived at Rebecca's trailer around 7 a.m. While Rebecca prepared for work in the bathroom, he waited for Connor to wake up, changed him, and took him to his father. John claimed to have noticed nothing unusual that morning, now bewildered by Rebecca's sudden disappearance. As expected, Rebecca did not appear at 4:30 p.m. By then, police had secured a search warrant for her home and car, immediately commencing their investigation. Inside the house, they noted the open purse, but Rebecca's keys and phone were missing, with no signs of forced entry, suggesting either Rebecca left willingly or her abductor took them. The most disturbing discovery was a spot on the hallway carpet, noticeably fluffier, as if recently cleaned. Closer inspection revealed dark streaks, potentially blood, or perhaps a spill Connor had made that Rebecca attempted to clean. Tiny droplets of blood were also found on a wall, with splatters on kitchen cabinets and a door handle. These alarming signs prompted police to tape off the house with yellow crime scene tape, a grim addition to the Halloween decorations. Investigators then turned their attention to Rebecca's car, immediately noticing an anomaly. Rebecca, being petite, typically positioned her car seat close to the steering wheel. However, it had been moved far back, making it impossible for her to reach the pedals. The car's unusual parking location, seemingly hidden among trees, further deepened suspicions. Police were now certain a crime had occurred. They interviewed Rebecca's relatives, friends, and colleagues, seeking to identify anyone who might have harbored ill will towards her. Yet, no one could fathom who would want to harm Rebecca Gay. She was described as kind, private, and trouble-free, with no involvement in risky activities or known enemies. As neighborhood children celebrated Halloween, joyfully collecting candy, Rebecca's family was consumed by dread. Connor's first Halloween would forever be overshadowed by the oppressive reality of his mother's disappearance. He never got to wear his Spider-Man costume or experience the holiday traditions. John even asked a church elder to pray for Rebecca's swift return. The irony was palpable. People paraded in terrifying costumes adorned with fake blood, while real blood splatters stained the home of their loved one. Halloween night took on a sinister new meaning for Rebecca's family. Costumes no longer seemed amusing, as a true criminal could be concealed behind any mask. The initial suspects were Chad Sando, Connor's father and Rebecca's ex-boyfriend, and Aaron Quinn, her current boyfriend. In cases involving missing women, partners are often the first to be scrutinized. Both men willingly cooperated with police questioning. Aaron appeared deeply distressed by Rebecca's disappearance, understanding the significance of Halloween to her. He stated he last spoke with Rebecca the previous evening, sending her a goodnight text at 10:43 p.m., which went unanswered. He assumed she was asleep. His surprise grew when his usual good morning text the next day also went undelivered, indicating Rebecca's phone was either off or out of service. This information helped authorities establish a timeline for when Rebecca ceased communication. Aaron's alibi was verified, lifting suspicion from him. He even revealed his intention to propose to Rebecca for weeks, having saved for a ring and awaiting the perfect moment, Halloween night, her favorite holiday. His plans, tragically, would never materialize. Police briefly considered the possibility that Rebecca might have run away, but this theory was quickly dismissed. Everyone interviewed confirmed Rebecca's love for Aaron and her desire to marry him, and their shared plans for a future and a family. Chad, when questioned, offered little new information but spoke highly of Rebecca, emphasizing their amicable co-parenting relationship for Connor's sake. Finally, authorities turned their attention to Pastor John White, Rebecca's mother's fiancé and a significant figure in Connor's life. He was believed to be the last person to see Rebecca alive, having picked up Connor to take him to his father while Rebecca prepared for work. John immediately became the subject of intense scrutiny, his precise answers drawing the detective's focus. Such questioning can be disorienting. It's easy to overlook minor details of daily routines when their future importance is unknown. Questions poured in. What was Rebecca wearing? Did she seem normal or act differently? Did she say she was going straight to work or mention stopping by the bar? How did Connor behave? Or what did he say? Detectives hoped the pastor could provide crucial insights. John, eager to cooperate, recounted the morning's events. At 55, he had no issue with an early start to help Rebecca. Upon arriving at the trailer, he found the porch light on and the front door unlocked. He entered the home, and as Rebecca was in the bathroom, he changed Connor from his pajamas into his clothes and took him to Chad. John maintained that he noticed nothing out of the ordinary that morning, a claim that would later be contradicted by the grim discoveries made by investigators. John Douglas White, the trusted pastor, the man who had embraced Rebecca and Connor into his life, confessed to killing Rebecca. His motive was chilling, to fulfill a sexual fantasy, specifically necrophilia. This revelation sent shockwaves through the community, exposing the dark depths of betrayal and the horrific reality that a monster had indeed been hiding in plain sight, disguised as a pillar of faith and trust. John Douglas White subsequently pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 56.25 to 85 years in prison, bringing a semblance of justice to Rebecca Gay's family, though the scars of her tragic Halloween disappearance would forever remain.